Hey everybody, ciao. Today our friends left that were here staying with us from Umbria, so they left at about 11ish, and since then we've just been flat chat. We stopped for a quick salad at lunchtime, but full on, before David has to take off, full on doing decorating and jobs and drilling holes and all the things that I don't want to have to do on my own. So I will show you what David's been up to. We've put 2 of our lovely mirrors that we bought at the markets and things on the wall in the lounge room. I'm in the kitchen at the moment because I've been cleaning stuff. So I love upcycling things. So I'm upcycling again a couple more shelves from the cantina downstairs to put in our bedroom. So I'm going to be sanding and painting those. And hello, my darling. He's just come to ask me a question.
All good?
Oh, he's just come to show me something? Yep. Awesome. All right, I'll turn on and turn off again when I see what's been going on upstairs. Okay, so we're upstairs with David, and he's because he wants to show me what's been going on up here. So first of all, yes, we've put this beautiful mirror that we got for 45 whopping euros. Awesome price. Beautiful, beautiful mirror. Lovely old mirror that has a little bit of marking in it, which actually is a sign of it being old. But it has lovely beveling, which you may not be able to see. Oh, yes, you can. Beveling around the edges. Gorgeous frame, which doesn't have too many knocks on it. And we really, really love that mirror, and it's opening up the room, reflecting my little cage that's hanging from the door. I've just brought this table upstairs. Oh, it's got a mess on it, but because that one is now going to be permanently here, because our kitchen table that was being made for us, especially bespoke, it's arriving hopefully tomorrow. So I made space downstairs for that because it's a larger table than this one. This is just a little sitting table for us. When you want to sit inside. The sun comes, it's stopped now, it's moved around a bit, but the sun comes streaming through here until late morning, almost till midday. And as the winter sun comes down, I think we'll get more. So this could be a lovely warm spot to sit on colder days as well, by the door with the sun. We've got the curtain down because it was streaming in so much that it was actually quite warm. It's hot for an autumn day. And there's our beautiful chandelier, which we adore. And David's just about to put this one up here, but we had a little tiny hole in the wall that we had to putty first, so he's just letting that set, and it needs to go off and really set hard before he goes putting any weight on it. So that's that. And then you're telling me you've done a little shelf in the bedroom for me, darling? Okay. So let's walk up without tripping over this cord. Let's walk upstairs. Here we go. Oh, check the view, ladies and gentlemen. Is that not under the Tuscan sun for you? Well, it is for me. Into the little bedroom, which we're still waiting on our bed. That should come any day soon. There's our cute little chandelier. And that's just that looks gorgeous, darling. Cute as pie. Tiny little shelf here. Very shabby chic. Leaving it as it is. Love the washed out paint and that. Picked that up yesterday at the Mercato Usato, which we go to in Campanoli. We've bought lots of things there. And what did I pay? €5? €8? Anyway, 5 or 8 or something like that. Something crazy. Just cute little timber shelf. Really, really sweet detailing on it. I thought it's just a perfect little thing because you can't do much above this radiator. But I am going to also get just a nice little mirror to pop here, so that if you want to put your perfumes or little bits and pieces, and have a little mirror here as well to look at yourself or whatever, just to make it pretty. Because as you can see, the room's still very blank, but we can't do much until the bed's actually properly sitting here. We're still on our mattress on the floor, sleeping in luxurious linen sheets that we bought for ourselves, which are very nice, but still on the floor. And then once the bed's in here, then bedside things can go up, etc., etc. So still have a bit of a blank room, but we'll get there. And such a pretty light. So that's it, folks. Great job done, darling. High five.
We're getting there.
Thank you once again for your wonderful work. Love you.
Ciao.
I've just found some more beautiful little pieces for the house. These are for the bedroom. This is for the kitchen. And this house, this shop is insanely beautiful. It's in La Rosa, Biscottini. You must come here. Still in a little bit of a mess this morning. I still haven't cleaned up. No table yet, because that will come probably in a couple of days. Poor David will be gone, but that's okay. Had a few mix up with international bank transfers, etc. And now we're just about to put up our little blackboard that we bought for our kitchen, which is really super cute. And I only just noticed, I said to David, "Oh, my darling, did you write Amore mio buongiorno and give me a little flower?" And he said, "Of course." And I said, "Hang on, we've got no chalk." And he said, "No, I wrote it with my eyes." Isn't that romantic? But in fact, he said, "No, didn't you notice that's what I had written on it in the shop?" And I went, "No, we were in such a rush, I didn't even notice." I said, "Well, gosh, that was really made for us, wasn't it? Because that's what we say every day." He calls me amore. No, sorry, he calls me tesoro and I call him amore. So, so appropriate, isn't it, darling?
Beautiful.
Beautifully appropriate. So now we're going to, David, not me, is now, we've marked the little spot and he's now going to pop that up on the wall there above the heater. Eventually, just so you know, we have asked the architect, and it seems that with permission, of course, that when we do the facade of the building, because if you all remember, in the past we've talked about how we're going to bring it back to beautiful stone, apparent stone like this, whereas we have the rendering on it at the moment, which we don't really like, but that was the fashion back in the early 1900s, and the house next door is the same. And the house over there has render, but a nicer colour. So we're going to go back to the stone. When we go back to the stone, just about here, just to the left of my doorbell, which I didn't even know was a doorbell. I have a doorbell. We're going to put in a window when we can afford to, because it will really open this room up a lot more, which is nice and light at certain times of the day and then gets a little dark. So, che bello. Grazie, amore mio. And there we go. So we're going to write a little message on that for anyone that comes along, and we can write our shopping, do whatever we like on that. I'll need to go and buy a couple of pieces of chalk. But yes, eventually that may very well be a window, which would give us lots of beautiful morning light. That's for certain, because the light comes from this way in the morning. And just, it looks so pretty because the wall, as you've just seen, of our neighbour's house is so adorable. It's a really pretty wall. In fact, I found yesterday, just sitting here, a fossil of a shell. Excuse me, tesoro. A fossil of a shell. Oh, I don't think I'll be able to zoom in on it. I will try. You're unlikely to see. Oh, I think you can see it. Oh, you can see it. Look at that. Let me put my finger. Whoa, there. Can you see that? Isn't that amazing? It's way up the wall, so you would never see that walking along. But there is a fossil of a lovely seashell in that rock, that stone, I should say. I was sitting here on my little front balcony yesterday, chatting to my mum in Sydney, and I was just staring at the wall and looking at the pretty flowers, and I said to her, "Oh my gosh, I've just found a fossil." So there you go. So we would then be looking out the window onto this lovely wall, this little cute little kind of courtyard entrance that we have here, and have a lot more morning light. And again, we have the perfect Tuscan sky above. This is so beautiful. David and I are just going for one last little walk this afternoon before he heads off tomorrow. And we haven't walked down this street, we've driven up it, but it's a beautiful back view, as you can see, of the church, because it really gives you a wonderful idea of how large the church is. Because when you're in the main body of the church, you don't realize the depth, and there are catacombs. So when we're visiting the church, it would be this top level, of course. But there's all underneath here, which I'd say would be another perhaps 2 levels down. And you can do a tour. And as you can see, the bell is shaking at the top. Oh, sorry, swinging. I shouldn't say shaking. It's just rung for the Vipers, and I just missed getting my camera out in time. But yes, it rings and rings and rings for a long time at 4 p.m. It's a traditional thing, obviously, that happens. And yeah, it's just beautiful. I love this villa here. It's just on it's literally the entrance, if you like, to the village, just before you get into the actual Borgo itself. And it's a beautiful big yellow villa, stunning, with another building directly behind, as you can see. A little bit more modern perhaps than the one at the front, but it's very impressive. It has a massive walled garden all the way down, with another gate there, and probably land beyond. And across the road, oh, I can see the cemetery right there. I don't know if you can see across. That's where we drove up to Rivalta, and we saw that beautiful cemetery that we said must have a beautiful view. This is the valley on the other side of the village, where we've just crossed the road. We're still walking down out of Chianni. But I just love, every time I drive along, I just love seeing these beautiful olive groves that roll down the hillside, and then sitting on top of the hill, the cypress trees, and then out to the vista in the distance. We can actually see the sea today because the sky is so clear. Maybe further down I can point it out to you. That's the end of the Vespa Prayers. I know you can't see anything because of the sun, but you can hear the bells chiming. So there they go. They're doing a beautiful song. Right down to the rolling hills. They actually chime for quite a while at the beginning of the prayers and at the end of the prayers. And having grown up a Roman Catholic, I remember in the old days there were the afternoon prayers. I'm sure they called them is it the Vipers, the Vespers? I can't remember. I'm sorry for anyone out there. I do apologise that I'm calling it probably the wrong name. I just remembered it starting with a V, and I must check that out. But I'm sure they were afternoon prayers, and yes, here they really celebrate them every day with these beautiful bells chiming. There is, I think, a Paccioli from, oh no, maybe not. What am I looking at there in the distance, that village? Isn't it romantic walking through an olive grove? It's so beautiful. I love them at night when they put fairy lights and things through them as well. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so pretty. It's the time of the harvest at the moment, so a lot of the olive groves are very busy with activity. This one doesn't look like there's a lot of olives on the tree, so maybe they've been done. I've got a feeling maybe they've already all been shaken out on this one. But it's lovely all the same. You glad we came for a walk here, darling? Isn't it stunning? What a spot to find a place to sit and contemplate, especially on your last day here. What a beautiful place. Oh, it's just the most beautiful outlook. We're just sitting on top of all the rows of the vines there, the olive groves right in front of us, right down to the level here. Beyond, you can see olive groves, cypresses, the forest here where obviously those deer were hanging out last night that ran out at us in front of the car. And then Chianni, which is just here at the top. I know the sun's shining in your eyes, in mine. So we've only walked, gosh, it hasn't even taken us 5 minutes to get down here, has it? It's a really, really quick walk. We've just taken our time because I've been photographing and filming. And there is the most, I'm just going to zoom in, the most spectacular view today of Le Balse of Volterra, which is, sorry, my finger there. So they are the stone cliffs of Volterra with the township sitting to its right. What a beautiful clear sky. So we're just above the road and you might hear cars coming, or a car. It's not as if we're in a busy spot. And once again, there it goes. We are living our dream every day when we're here under the glorious Tuscan sun, aren't we, my darling?
You certainly are. Beautiful.
My love. We're just getting a suntan, actually, aren't we? What a sun trap. This is wonderful.
Glorious October day in Tuscany.
Oh my goodness. How blessed are we, my love? We had a siesta this afternoon and lay there chatting and saying how much we are so in love with the home we've purchased here, with our choices. We are just over the moon and neither of us want to leave. We could just see ourselves living our days out here, couldn't we, my love?
Oh, yeah. Not
a worry in the world. We must make it happen that we can be here all the time, because I know I think I'm probably going to cry buckets leaving here in a few weeks' time. It's not going to be easy because I just feel like I've truly found my place. Do you feel like that?
Absolutely. It's just so peaceful. Good for the soul.
Yes, we were both saying that our souls feel happy here, and that is so important, isn't it? Everyone deserves to feel that way. I'm just on the main road leading into Chianni, which is just there. We were just looking at an olive grove just over here, and the church, which is just up above here where we just were. But I kept on meaning to come down and take a photograph of this sign, in fact, so I thought I would just video it instead. It's the entrance into this way into the village, into Chianni, but it has the signs of the gemellato, if you like. So that means like twin towns. Comune gemellato con Forcalquiere, I think you would say. I don't know that place in France. And then Roquefort-la-Boudoule. Commune gemellato con Roquefort-la-Boudoule. So 2 French towns which we are twin towned with. We are now walking up to the road where it says Piscina. Now the Piscina will be closed for sure now, I'd say, being beginning of October. I would say it probably closes end of September. And when we first got here, we were just too darn busy to be worried about pools. Look at the view. Oh gosh. But it's lovely, as you can see, cypress lined. Lovely driveway up here. And when I was watching on Instagram and things like that before we got here, and they were showing the different activities during summer, the Piscina had pool parties at night because there's a bar here, and they had music, probably disco music or stuff like that, like an actual DJ, I'd say, rather than live music. And they had certain nights where you could stay right through until I think it was like midnight or something, swimming and partying on a hot summer's night, having a drink. It sounded like lots of fun, probably more for the youngsters, more so than for me, but hey, if it's a hot summer's night, I'm up for a swim late at night. Are you? I just love the patterns that you see on the hills when they've been harvesting or ploughing, and I know these beautiful lines and designs on the hill so well from my friend Massimiliano Gambicorti here in Chianni, the lovely man that did the drone photography for me and David above our house. And he owns properties around here which he loves with a passion, and why wouldn't you? And he just loves taking beautiful drone videos and photos above the land with all these wonderful designs, and it's just awesome. It's like an artwork, isn't it, on the landscape? Really wonderful. Such a wonderful way to spend the last afternoon that David has here with me in Chianni. Oh gosh, I'm going to miss him so much. He knows that. And I'm also going to find it really hard to leave. I know I'm going to find it really, really hard to leave. Oh my gosh, my heart now is just so ensconced in this new home, in this place. And we always knew that it was just temporary for now, that we would come and go. But once you've been here just for a short time like we have, we're already so in love with our village, with the people, with our surrounds that I've been showing you, and I'm sure you can understand why, that I know when my time in a few weeks' time comes to leave, I'm going to struggle. Yikes. In the meantime, let's just enjoy this beautiful part of the world and be grateful to be here. Our next dream, because we dream forward, is to own just a small olive grove. We would love that. And this one is one that we've been driving by, which is right on the edge of the village. And it's gorgeous. It has electricity on it. It has a little shed and another annex further along, which when olive groves have buildings on them, that's really cool. So I'm going to ring up now and find out how much they want. You can keep on dreaming, can't you? I always find it magical when I'm walking through countryside in Italy, and also when I used to live in France, and then just coming across these little roadside altars, sometimes in little lanes, today just on the road. I've noticed this before, but I hadn't stopped. And they're also always so sweet. And I think this one is dedicated to St. Francis of Assisi, I would imagine, just because it has the saint surrounded by animals. And of course, this is the land of animals everywhere. So that makes good sense. But it's just that beautiful, romantic and yes, religious, but in a beautiful way, spiritual side to things about being in the country here. Hello, my darling. It's David's final spritz with me this evening. Cheers, my darling. I was just about to go chin chin, but I was going to actually have some water first. Oh, big tractor going by. Cheers, my love. To many years to come in Chianni, you and I. Wonderful years ahead. Oh, that hit the spot. Love you.